All right, in the fan forum, Joe D'Alizio is still here talking about the Green Bay Packers draft. And before we
Should
get
have
to the
left.
pick,
I should have left. I don't know why you kept me here. Should have
yeah,
left.
should have left. I mean, like the whole story of the draft, we didn't get to it there, but the Aaron Rodgers saga just overshadowed everything on draft day for them, and it's such a mess. Like you're obviously more in on the situation than I am. Am I wrong to think that he's never playing for that team again?
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
I agree. I think this is an unrepairable situation. Um, and I think the Packers organization is playing chicken with the wrong guy.
yeah.
Um, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play this season for the Green Bay Packers. I wouldn't be surprised if he sits out. I wouldn't be surprised if he retires. To be honest with you, I think there's very little chance that Aaron Rodgers plays for the Green Bay Packers.
I 100% agree. I think they're playing chicken with the wrong guy because, as people know, I'm not sure how much this goes outside of football circles, but like Aaron Rodgers has not spoken to his immediate family for about 15 years. The Packers not winning a stare down with him.
Yeah, you keep that aside and whatever. It's just like based on all the reports that you've seen and you've read, it's like how can this potentially ever get better? Right? There's nothing that could really be done in my eyes that would make this better, right? I am totally against the option of firing general manager Brian Gutekunst. I think that is absolutely ridiculous and overstepping several boundaries. Does Aaron Rodgers have a right to be upset and annoyed with the organization and their decision to draft Jordan Love when he has no signs of slowing down, and that's clear as day after last year's MVP season, 100%. But at the same time, I mean, we are stepping into really murky territory if players are now deciding who's going to be the GM and who's not.
Yeah, it's a spot you don't want to be in. I think you're right. I think the Jordan Love thing is where this whole relationship started to fracture because I think that Packers sort of had the wrong scouting. They said, okay, he's probably got a year left. We're gonna take the quarterback and sort of do what we did with him and be ready to go when the time comes. But coming off the MVP, now they're like, what do we do here? And I think now you're in a spot where he's gonna try for his hand. I could totally see him saying, you know what, like I'll go host Jeopardy. I don't need this aggravation. I'm gonna sit out, and then like if somebody wants me, and the Packers just get fed up enough, they'll trade me.
And the other thing is I don't think, at least pre June 1st, the Packers are going to be thinking about trading him. It's going to cost them more to trade him than keep him on the team, even if he doesn't play. So it's a crazy situation, and like you said, it's hard to really dive deep into this draft class because no matter what, the season as a whole, the Packers' success hangs on who their quarterback is, right? If Aaron Rodgers ends up playing, which I don't think he will end up playing, the Packers will be exactly where they were last season. Maybe they get over that hump. Maybe. That's not a guarantee. But if he doesn't play and he's not their quarterback, this is a team that's picking easily in the top 10.
Oh
If,
yeah.
if not top 5.
Oh yeah, because he's the key to that whole team. And I mean, you look at like what's going on here. I think the timing of it too is very interesting because you look at his decision to sort of leak this on draft day. It's sort of like trying to put the screws on the Packers and say, hey, you want to get a pick for me, do it now. Otherwise, I'm going to make your life hell for the next couple of months.
And Mike, I'll be honest with you, as a fan, right? As a Packers fan, I was hoping that if this happens, let it happen Thursday night, day one of the draft. Rip the Band-Aid off. Let it just happen. Because the more that this lingers, you're going to go into the entire summer not knowing, right? And as a fan, that is just a terrible feeling.
It's also not good for Jordan Love either because he's going to be going to camp, assuming he's getting starters after Rodgers not there every day. Asking, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to show up back up? Do you think he's going to be the guy this year? Do you think he's going to show up at all? And he's like, hey, I'm trying to take care of what I have to do.
I mean, all I could say about that is that I hope he comes prepared and he's ready to play football.
Yeah,
because I mean, there's a good chance he could be starting in September. Now, is he ready to start in September? Probably not. Doesn't seem that way. I mean, last year he wasn't active for a single game, but time will tell. But my gut says, it's very unlikely that Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing for the Green Bay Packers. this upcoming season or ever again.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I also thought it was very interesting, sort of like one last parting shot at Rodgers a little bit, where they take the corner in the first round instead of getting another receiver. Say, hey, you don't dictate our situation. We're going to take who we think is the best fit for us.
Here's the thing, though. Like, it's not about just getting Rodgers wide receivers, right? That's the one notion that I think general fans or outside people don't understand. Like, it's not about you need to give Rodgers weapons. You need to give Rodgers weapons. I mean, look what he had this season. Look what he had the season before. You fall short in the NFC Championship game. Okay, if you had a better cornerback and a better defense and some other pieces on the offensive line and the linebacker position, right? Those are pieces that Aaron Rodgers could use, right? So at the same time, it doesn't necessarily always have to be get him a wide receiver. But if you put impact players around him in other positions and key positions, the difference is going to be made. A big reason why they lost in the NFC Championship game, Kevin King got absolutely smoked on that side. All right. So hopefully they get a guy in Stokes who is a physical guy, a bigger guy, super athletic. You pair him up with Jair Alexander, and now you fill that need. I'm all about filling the needs. And that's exactly what they didn't do last season.
Yeah, because last year's draft, they went quarterback, running back, 1, 2, and those were sort of luxury picks for a team that was trying to win the Super Bowl. I think these picks make more sense. And you said, like, the whole NFC Championship game turn when Kevin King gets smoked on the last play of the first half by Scotty Miller for the touchdown.
I mean, Brady went his way the entire game. It wasn't like he picked apart Jair Alexander. You know, the Packers also weren't able to get the great pressure on him. So you invest in the defensive line, you invest in linebackers. Like, it doesn't always have to be about the wide receiver, but you know, the organization set themselves back with that first draft last year with, like you said, Jordan Love, running back in the second round. It took a fullback / tight end in the third round in Josiah DeGora. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to even look at this draft class, right, and give them a grade or a number. Because like a guy like Amari Rodgers, right? I think Amari Rodgers could be really, really, really good in Matt LaFleur's system. I think he could be really, really, really good with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback. Will he have an immediate impact if Aaron Rodgers isn't his quarterback? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, but since this point of the exercise, like, we're going to take the Rodgers part of the equation out of here for a second. Let's say Jordan Love's the quarterback, and this is your draft class. What are you giving the grade for this group?
Probably still a B.
Yeah.
Probably around a B. With the potential of that being higher, because I like what they did with Stokes. Maybe I would have went Asante Samuel Jr., who's a little bit more polished, but I think they're going for a little bit of attitude. They see what they have in Jair and how physical he is. And if you could have that on both sides of the field, you hope that Stokes' athleticism and speed makes up for his other deficiencies. I think they were smart with addressing the offensive line the way that they did. The one thing I wish they would have done a little earlier, though, I would have addressed the linebacker or the defensive line earlier.
All right, Joe. Thanks all the time. I really appreciate it. Before I let you go, how can you follow on social media? Keep up with the Sharp Cheddar podcast.
All right. So give me a follow on Twitter at Joe__. Don't forget the __, Mike. All right.
Yeah. Well, otherwise they won't find you.
EALOISIO.
How about the Sharp Cheddar podcast? How can you keep up with that if they want to?
All right. So Sharp Cheddar available on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Amazon, anywhere that you can find a podcast, you can find the Sharp Cheddar podcast.
All right, Joe. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Mike, always a pleasure. Have a wonderful